you will build the foundation together. It's not about figuring out the stuff on the bottom. We don't figure out my life and your life together. You figure out one life with God, and the bottom comes together.
And it might take a long time, but God's not desperate for you to get fixed. He loves the process. He's all about the journey, and he's not in a rush for your marriage to be this specific looking thing.
If I get lost in God, then I'm losing myself, right? Like I'm just getting dug into God and I'm getting set on fire. Well, it may not change your habits, but it changes how I respond to your habits. The next is just this divine triangle. And you may have seen this before, I've seen this presented by a lot of teachers and everything, where they draw a triangle and they put God at the top and you on one of the bottoms and then your spouse on the other bottom. And so you have this divine kind of structure, right? Well, the one thing that was recently just taught to us by our mentor is a lot of times in this structure, you see the two kind of trying to connect with one another while also connecting with God. And it's like, well, I got to do my half and you got to do your half. But what's happening right there is not union. What's happening right there is butting heads and friction, because you're trying to get your side done and you're trying to get this person to connect with you. And that seems so universal. It's like you and I have experienced the miscommunications and the goals that don't seem to be aligned, and we hear that in so many people, how it just seems to be such a struggle to communicate properly and make plans, and live out the plans in the daily life, staying connected and things like that. It seems like it's so easy to get separated on even the littlest issues, and we're really going to hone in on that on the next point. But in this point, if you would stop trying to do this, and if you would simply do this, look how the two just come together. So if both of you are just going after God, you will build the foundation together. It's not about figuring out the stuff on the bottom. We don't figure out my life and your life together. You figure out one life with God, and the bottom comes together. This is even how I would describe, praying for your spouse. I don't know how many people actually pray for their spouses. Admittedly, I don't pray for you as much as I should. I should every single day. But I know that when we have an issue one day, when it seems like, it's impossible to connect or impossible to communicate or anything like that, if I'm reminded of it the next day in my prayer time, then I will simply pray things like, Marie and I are one. We communicate well. The Holy Spirit helps us to communicate. I'll do a little warfare. Leviathan cannot twist the things that we say. Our ears cannot misinterpret the things that we hear. Our past traumas and our insecurities cannot translate those things for us. So, mix a little warfare with the truth and you declare the truth. And 100% of the time when I do that, we have a great connected day afterwards. And it could be just a normal work day when, we don't see each other a whole lot, but it still just feels so different because you have spoken into the atmosphere and declared truth. The moment we're butting heads down here on this base, trying to make the base work in our own strength, the moment you have now sown the seeds of mistruth into your atmosphere. So just grow closer to God, sowing the seeds of truth into your atmosphere, and just watch your relationship change.